Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. It's a really good day for the Gold Coast Suns Football Club. It's with great pleasure that I announce Damien Hardwick as the senior coach moving forward. On behalf of everyone at the club, we extend a really warm welcome to Damien and Alex, and it's a really momentous occasion for our football club. From the outset, we said that we were resolute and determined to take this club onto success. We think we owe it to our members, our fans, our sponsors, our corporate partners, everyone at the club, and particularly the players. We owe it to everyone to make those hard decisions and to surround ourselves with the very best people that we can find. In Damien, we have someone incredibly capable. We have someone with an incredible track record, but more importantly, with someone with the right attitude and the determination and the ambition to take this club on to its first success. So we're very pleased about this momentous occasion. We're incredibly pleased to do the deal with Damien. We think it's going to be an amazing fit for everyone at the club, and we wish Damien all the very best as we go to do what our purpose is to go and contend for premierships, go and take ourselves, particularly next year, as far as we can. So it's a wonderful day for the Gold Coast, Suns, and we're pleased to announce Damien as our senior coach.
Well,
Can I also just say our appreciation to Stephen King for the amazing effort, not only of Stephen but the entire team, the way they took this club forward over the last number of weeks. It's been a very impressive showcase of the attitude and the go-forward approach that the footy department has. So it is really sets our club up for great things moving forward. So thank you to Stephen King.
over to me. First of all, I'd just like to thank Bob and Mark for giving me the opportunity to coach this wonderful club. I'm very, very, very excited. I likened it to waking up on Christmas Day and walking out to a set of brand new toys, which is very exciting. You know, to have Mark and Bob reach out to my management group a week prior to they travelled all the way around the world to Milan was quite exciting. And once I started to get my head around that, I was thoroughly invested and I couldn't wait to get here. And what I do know is the quality people here and the quality playing list we have, we're capable of doing some special things. And I'm very excited to be a part of that journey. So I can't wait to get started. I know this season's coming to its finality, but I'm very much looking forward to coaching you young men and taking us to where we need to go, and that's to raise our first Premiership Cup, which I'm pretty sure will be in the not-too-distant future. So once again, thank you very much. I'd like to reiterate what Bob said about Stephen King and his coaching staff. They've done a wonderful job in a tough situation, but they've sort of started to open the doors for me, and I think we're just going to build on what you guys have started. So once again, thanks very much, and I look forward to the journey, boys. I'll see you shortly. Beautiful.
Questions for Bob and then we can move on to Damien.
Bob, what part of the journey to Milan did you feel like you had Damien locked in?
We never really knew. I mean, these are very big decisions. Clearly, Damien comes with an amazing resume, and it's undisputed of the capabilities that he brings. But footy clubs are dynamic organisations. There really does need to be a meeting of the minds. We were as keen to express, our attitude to this club, how determined we are, our ambitions for taking this club forward, and to hear how Damien would set about doing that for us. So we knew Damien was incredibly capable. What we really wanted to do was reaffirm that he was ready to go, and that became incredibly clear over the number of discussions and catch-ups we had. It became really evident that Damien was as passionate and as ambitious as anyone in the senior coaching ranks, and really appreciated the opportunity to take us forward. So we thought it was a wonderful meeting of minds and confirmed to us that it was the right decision.
Or was there always just
It was certainly the hopeful outcome, but to be honest, Mark and the team did put together a very good compilation of what we thought we needed and how to do it. As you can imagine, it's not an extensive list within this industry, but then we set about chasing our target. So we were delighted to have a preferred candidate, and we were delighted to be able to be successful on that front.
Were there any other changes to make before the department?
No, I think by and large, as we said, we're really pleased with where we're positioned. We're really excited for this wonderful playing group and the way in which everyone has worked together. So I think this appointment is really, really important for us moving forward.
Does Dimmer have the full support to do it his way, or are you guys sort of, in these conversations, happy with what you've got so far with Kingy and sort of the assistant coaches that have been doing the job sort of since Stewie's started?
Well, I think I'll let Dimmer speak on some of these points, but we've exchanged a lot of information about where we think we're up to. We think we've got a really good bedrock of and a platform that we think can take us to success. The one thing I will say in the discussions with Dimmer, it is very clear that we are not sitting here and now hoping that Dimmer can take us on to success. This is a whole of club approach. Everyone in this club knows, and we've had chats this morning, everyone now needs to put their shoulder to the wheel and make sure that we work together to make this the opportunity that it can be. So it is a really important link to get the very best people around us so we can go and set about achieving our goals. But equally, it's not a one-person job. It never was going to be. So this is a really important step, but it just makes our job just that more fruitful, hopefully, and rewarding. But also the hard work really starts again right from now.
No disrespect to previous coaches, but when it comes to Dimmer, it's as good as it gets. Is it fair to say?
I think the record stands, and we hope that will take us to the success that we think this club deserves. I think it's fair to say on any front that this is a really good selection for the club, and not just because of the resume, not just because of the track record, but because of the attitude and the desire to take this forward. As we know, brilliance in any particular sector is only part of the equation. It's the attitude and the ambition and the endeavour that really, sees organisations through. There's 17 other clubs that desperately want this, and we know that you have to sort of lay awake at 2 o'clock in the morning working out how to beat the others, no matter how good you are. So hopefully not too many sleepless nights, Dimmer, but we know that it's the hard work that will pay off.
Damien, at what part of the process did you feel this was going to be your new home?
Oh, probably after entree, to be fair. No, it was a great conversation. We had some really good conversation. We had 2 pretty thorough meetings, and as you know, Bob and Mark have stated, what was really excited me is first and foremost the people that we've got here. You know, I know a lot of the people involved and been around footy circles a long time, and then I sort of went through the playing list and looked at that, at how exciting it is. You know, I think 80% of our first premiership side is sitting in this room right now. You know, there'll be a few bits added along the way, but the fact of the matter is this side and this club are very capable of saluting in the not too distant future. So that to me is very, very exciting. And you know, they've travelled halfway around the world to come and have a meal with me, and that sort of spoke dividends to me. So I was really, really excited to get started and get back and put my hat in the ring and hopefully onwards and upwards from here.
People would say when you left Richmond that you used the turnout term. What's changed in the last 3 months to make sure that you're ready to commit to 6 years of the club? Yeah,
I think there's narratives that get thrown around, and the fact of the matter is I've been in that organisation for 13 years and given everything to that group of players, and the fact of the matter is they need a new voice. I still love coaching, and it will always be in my blood. I'm a career coach, and the fact of the matter is I've got a great bunch of players now that I'm very much looking forward to and going through. Like Brandon will have to listen to a few new stories, old stories that he'll have to sit there and bear and grin and laugh. But I've got a great new bunch of toys that I'm really looking forward to working with, and I couldn't be more excited.
You've known Stewie for a long time. Have you spoken to him at all?
I haven't. It's a conversation piece, that one. And look, the reality is football's a business, and we know that there is a human element to that. And it's very cutthroat. That's the reality of the situation. My time will come, and some other one, assistant coaches' times will come, and footy directors, this is the nature of the business we're in, sort of thing. And there no apologies for that. You've got to succeed, and that's the reality of the situation I come into now.
Damien, what are your thoughts on the football department here at the moment? What are you looking to bring any new faces in?
No, I think we're pretty set. I'm pretty happy with the people we've got. Had some good conversations around that. Very confident in the footy department that we've managed to, bring together over a period of time. And like I said, that with the playing group is the reason I'm here. As I said, I'm not the messiah. I'm part of the puzzle that's going to take us where we need to go. So that to me is the best part of the job.
You've got a 6-year deal. Have you got a timeline or a projection on how quickly you want to advance things?
It was funny, I thought it was 5, and the last one I was looking for was a Movie World pass, but they threw in an extra year, which is great. But I think every year we're gunning for finals. There's no question about that, and then we'll build and we'll build. I'm not putting a ceiling on this group. I think I'm very excited about the playing list that we've got here at the moment and the excitement for what they can bring and what that'll bring our fans. I'm looking forward to the day where we've got 70% crowd here and they're just chanting the Gold Coast Suns. That for me is really, really exciting, and I can't wait to get started.
When will you get started? Is it pre-season that you'll hit the ground running, or is it now?
Oh, look, I'll step back and let Stephen and his side take care of, the finality of this season. But then over the course of the next couple of weeks, I'll step back in and start to do a little bit of list management with Craig and Wayne and Mark along the way. So it'll be a little bit of a take back, digest, and then move forward from there.
Early in the piece, what differences do you want to make? What can we expect different from the Gold Coast Suns next year and the next 6 years?
Well, to be fair, I think Stephen and his side have started to see some of those things, the more dynamic ball movement. I look at these guys, they've got incredible strengths. They're here for a reason. So let's unleash those. Let's make sure we've got a game style that we can implement that brings out the strength of our players. Fast, dynamic footy I love, and I'm sure our fans will love as well. Defensively, we want to be really, really hard to beat, but we also want to make sure that every game, and what I will say is Gold Coast Suns have been in every game this year. There's been a couple, like most sides, that every now and then they haven't delivered, but the fact of the matter is they're in every contest, which is something they should be proud of and build on. So for me, it's about being, really brazen offensively, defensively being really, really hard to score against, but more importantly, being proud to show up every week.
There's going to be a lot of questions around when the first approach came from the club, given this decision on Stewart and then the approach to you. Can you just clarify when you first became aware of Gold Coast and the rest of you?
It was through Paul, probably got a week prior to the meeting in Milan, I think. I'm trying to think whether it was a week or 10 days or whatever it was. And then obviously, they wanted to fly over and meet, and so that's when it became, quite serious sort of thing. And that's when I started to probably take stock and have a little bit of a deeper dive into the Gold Coast boys, and I started to get a little bit of excitement. So to be fair, I probably could have said, well, listen, before you come over, I reckon it might be a fair chance. But it was great to sort of sit down and understand exactly where they saw the club, but more importantly, where they wanted to go. And that's when the meeting of the minds came, and that's when I started to say, listen, I think this is the club for me.
What did they shout for dinner?
I'd been in Italy, I reckon, for probably 2 weeks at that stage, and Bob goes, you know what, we're going to go for Italian. I thought, not again. No, it was good though. It was a good meal. More importantly, it was a great company. We had some good conversation pieces there. Lynn obviously was over there as well, and Alex. So it was just good to chew the fat and get a good understanding of what the club is about. And like most great footy clubs, it's all about the people. We've got some really good people in this organisation. I can't wait to sit down and meet.
Will you ask Dustin Martin if he wants to come up here?
Oh, look, he's a contracted player at Richmond, and all I want to do at the moment is sit back and enjoy the moment that I've got here to, my first day at Gold Coast, and meet the players and the staff and enjoy that aspect. And list management decisions will come in due course.
You talk about 80% of the Premiership list being here. One guy that's not here just yet is Jeff Walter. What do you know about him?
YouTube highlights, I can tell you what. We've got some great academy kids coming through, and it's one of the great things I think this club has done. And they've invested heavily in that aspect, and it's part of the advantage that we have, and the amount of coaching that goes into that, and it's starting to reap benefits for us. So how many players that is next year, I'm not exactly too sure, but what I do know is prestigious talent in that development pathway, which is really exciting for us. We'll continue to invest in it and make sure we continue to get Queensland kids playing. I know the participation rates up here are through the roof, so we've got to make sure we get as many Queensland kids through the Gold Coast Suns doors as possible.
Well, Mark Damien said professional sport is a cutthroat business, but in hindsight, are there any regrets about the way that the coaching change was handled?
Look, I think in terms of the process, the evaluation, the ultimate outcome, no regrets. Is there better ways of getting through these things? I'm sure that there can be. I'm always highly conscious that these are emotional decisions and there's people's livelihoods at stake. But this organisation or any other organisation, it's always a tricky endeavour. We really do have a lot of compassion about everything we do, and some of those days are really challenging. So I think in terms of, the board was really clear from the outset. We wanted to do a proper evaluation, and then we wanted to run a proper process, and we wanted to get a good coach. So I think at a high level we can be satisfied that there's a good outcome here, but it's a tricky industry.
Damien, how do you say on Dusty? Bob, what would you like to see? Could you see Dusty pulling on the red jumper up here and getting a few more through the game?
Oh, look, I probably will stay clear of list management decisions from the chair at this stage. So I look forward to the decisions the guys will make moving forward.
Mark, could you see Dusty rolling through the game?
I actually remember having a conversation with Dimmer when Tom Lynch went to Richmond and about talking about players from other clubs, so I might stick out of it too. But whatever Damien and Craig and Wayne think is the right thing for our playing list, I'm sure that'll be fine by me.
Got some really good players here, I'll tell you that much, which is good. Yeah.
And Mark, you said that you want to play finals, you want to win premierships. It's a long deal. Are there performance clauses built into the contract about making finals?
I won't ask you about your contract, and you shouldn't ask me about mine, and I'm not going to talk about Damien's other than to say it's entirely appropriate to have the contract length and the terms for Damien to recognise his expertise in coaching and his experience and success, but we want him to come here to deliver that success in the same window of opportunity that we see for this playing group. We think we've got a lot of players coming into their prime, and Damien's tenure at here should be good for Damien, should be good for the players, and should be brilliant for the Gold Coast Suns.
Dimmer, is there any appetite to bring a Rewald or a Cochin, up here and inject the Richmond flavour up here, or do you want to start fresh and be completely different to what you were at the time?
Oh, look, I think, once again, you've got to tailor a game plan to what you've got here, and a lot of the tools that I'm looking for are in this building right now. So, look, we'll bring a style of game that will be relatively similar to what you're seeing Collingwood, GWS and Richmond play. These guys are really, really capable and diligent at playing that style, and it's going to be exciting. They're going to love to play it. And I think we've got the quality of people in the room that can deliver that game plan and that teaching and understanding right here, right now. So at this stage, I'm sitting here thinking I've got all the people I need in the building, and I don't really need to bring anyone else at this stage.
What does the next few weeks look like? Will you go to Tassie? Will you watch? Will you have coffees and meet people? How does the next few weeks look in terms of starting to get your head around? Yeah,
no, I'll step back and let Stephen and his crew do what they've done over the last 7 or 8, 9 weeks, and just watch from afar on the computer screen. But then I'll obviously, once the season finishes, the exit interviews are finished, then I'll start to step in and start to get to work. But it's always hard to, now that you're sort of fully invested sort of thing, to not get involved. But the fact of the matter is, I think it's, with due respect to Stephen and his crew, that they get the job to finish. So I'm really excited to watch them play, sort of thing. I know I'll be watching too, which is great. So I'm going to have a great interest in that.
Thanks everyone for coming along.
Thanks, man.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Me and you guys, Josh will take you out the back door down to the field.